and welcome. Today we are taking a full look at the brand new 2025 X-Shot Fury X. This blaster has been much anticipated. It is an incredibly affordable pro blaster. Let's jump right in. I do want to say that when I did find this blaster, they actually did re-release the long shot in these blue colors, which I personally thought looked really good, but besides the newer plunger tube, I doubt that it would be different from the standard long shot. So included in the box, we of course have the Fury X itself, a 15 round magazine, and 40 half darts. Fantastic amount of darts. Now let's go over the Fury X. First off, we do have two Picatinny style rails on the blaster, one up on top and one down below. Right down here we do have the safety. In the rear position, your blaster is safe, and in the forward position, you're ready to fire. If we look at the barrel, it looks like this blaster will be compatible with the Dart Zone Scars, the Dart Zone B-Car, and the other more aesthetic muzzles. Just like the long shot, this blaster has a great magazine release system. We can either release the magazine from back here or from this quick release switch on the left or right. We can simply strike it and the magazine will gravity drop out. Now right on top we do have this switch, and to be honest, I don't know entirely how it's supposed to work. The instructions don't make it super clear, and I'm not sure if I have a defective model, and I hope it's not glaringly obvious what this does, but it does not seem to be a reprime switch. The instructions basically say that if you do encounter some kind of dart jam, to prime the blaster back, to remove the magazine, to push it forward, and then to push this switch forward, or something very close to that. And it doesn't really seem to do a whole lot. I'd be very curious to know exactly what this does. If you've been inside the Fury X personally and know what this switch does, please drop it down in the comments. Anyway, right up here we do have the priming handle. To prime the blaster, we're just going to pull back and push forward. It has a very smooth prime. By the way, this blaster has a great seal. It also has slam fire, which you'll see in a moment. Overall, ergonomics are solid, and while plastic quality does feel very X-Shot, at this price there really is not any equivalent to this blaster. $15 for a full-on magazine-fed pro blaster with slam fire and lots of bells and whistles is just absolutely insane. Let's put this blaster over the chronograph. By the way, on the magazine, this little 15 is a sticker. If it looks a little bit aesthetically out of place, it is, but it's just telling you don't stuff it with more than 15 darts. Loaded up, I do have the included X-Shot half darts. 150, 143, duplicate 143, 147, 148, and 151. That is some absolutely stunning performance. Even disregarding the price of the blaster, having a very small magazine-fed blaster that can do that out of the box, fantastic. But let's also fire some standard Dart Zone embers. I have heard that some people are experiencing some magazine feeding discrepancies. Like Xbox Games, for example, had an issue, I think, where the magazines would randomly drop out. It does not seem to be a problem with my model, with this Dart Zone Talon style magazine. But that is just my experience, and I could definitely test more magazines if you guys are really interested in that. But yeah, so we're just gonna fire these brand new embers over the chronograph and see what kind of performance we get. 138. 136, 134, 138, 140, and 141. So while that performance is definitely not quite as good as what you're getting with the included darts, which is interesting because on the long shot originally, when I tested it, it was the opposite. The included darts did not hit as hard as the Dart Zone darts. But that is still some really good performance. This blaster works well with Dart Zone darts and the included darts. And I'm sure this blaster is very upgrade ready, so you could definitely increase that performance with some modding. Now let's fire some shots downrange, starting with our remaining ember darts. Slam fire. Very straight shots, solid performance. We don't really have any wind right now, and I'm sure you could improve the accuracy with a scar barrel, but I'm very happy with that. Now let's move on to the included magazine and included darts. Very similar active performance and slam fire. Very impressive. This blaster is smoother than the long shot, at least in my experience. It's almost like Pyragon smooth. I mean, maybe not to that level, but it's a very smooth blaster. Great slam fire. We do have 2 more shots. So what are my final thoughts on the X-Shot Pro Fury X? Overall, I think it's pretty clear that this blaster is phenomenal. It is incredible that in today's Nerf landscape, you can get a blaster like this for this price. And I mean, it is pretty much the most affordable Pro blaster that you can get. It is the same price as the Dart Zone Solo Pro, but that blaster is like the Pro version of a Jolt. This is a full-on primary that comes with way plenty darts. I've heard it has some pretty great upgradability. It's super smooth. It is incredible aesthetically. You have that same fantastic magazine release design that was present on the long shot, which is so awesome on a $15 blaster. The seal is great. It does have a metal barrel in there. And while the blaster does not have the most stunning plastic quality, it is very much X-Shot plastic quality. The ergonomics I find to be really awesome for a very mid-sized kind of blaster. Not quite primary, not quite secondary. It could definitely be a secondary or a primary, but it kind of fits between those 2 classifications. Overall, if you have any interest in this blaster, I can highly recommend it, whether you're a brand new player or someone who's been in the game for years. If you are interested in the Fury X, I will have the link in my description. This is a great start to 2025. Thank you very much for watching. I would love to hear your personal thoughts on the X-Shot Fury X, whether you have one or not. Have a great one, subscribe for more, and happy blasting.